sellout crowd, and through a sea of pyrotechnics, out they came from the tunnel. We're set to go as the Ravens get ready to match up with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Seems like we were just starting training camp, but here we are in October, and off we go on EA Sports. Not much leg here. Fields this at the 24-yard line. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. First carry for the former Buckeye, J.K. Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's 3rd down. This defense for the Steelers, they were very strong last week in that win over Cleveland.
I have to admit, I was extremely impressed by what I saw on tape because they stayed in the face of the quarterback the entire game, ended up getting 4 sacks total, and made it difficult for him to step up and find receivers downfield. Also made it hard for him to escape the pocket and run.
That ball caught. It's Mark Andrews, the tight end. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Well, a lot of times when you get a manageable 3rd down situation like this, you have to think about your tight end, and he comes through for him, picking up the 1st down.
They'll throw on 1st down with Jackson. And he'll go right back to Andrews. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on 2nd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have pegged it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
He was out there waving his arms saying, throw it here, dropped it, not a good look.
Well, all I can do is just look at him with contempt on that one. As a defensive back, I'm saying, not as an announcer. Just like, really?
A little bit of a diva look, isn't it?
Yeah, very much so, because I think what happens is he just had too much time to think. He's wide open now. Here comes the ball, and he doesn't concentrate and drops it.
So 3rd and 2, this quite possibly 4-down territory, though, if they're stopped. To throw again is Jackson. That's complete to the fullback, Ricard. So they'll get nothing out of that play, and it'll be 4th down. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this 1st quarter. And on their first drive, the offense staying out there. They're going to go for it on 4th. Play action. Now Jackson. And he's got his tight end. That's Andrews. And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. And the defense bit hard there. They were thinking run all the way, play fake, working to perfection on 4th down.
And it was able to work because of the down and distance situation. 4th and short, you've got to respect the run. You show a little play action. Oftentimes you find people open for what you need, and that's exactly what they got done there.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script. You go through your play calling. You go through all the stuff and establish things. And it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
first and 10 at the 11. From the gun, it's Kaepernick. He's got his man. It's Andrews. And Andrews lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. Oh, backbreaker. That'll drive the coach, the offensive coordinator, just crazy. You get it all the way down there in the red zone, can't capitalize. Instead, they go the other way on the fumble return for a touchdown.
How about the aggressiveness of the defense, though? They're not about to just fall on a fumble, are they? Scoop and score is their motto, and they just did it.
And you can bet they're preaching two hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. Here's Smith to return it. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And that last possession, really a gut punch. You seemingly had it working. You were in the midst of a very strong drive, then suddenly the fumble, and you're watching the back of a defender's jersey as he brings it all the way in the other direction.
There's not much more I can add to that. I thought you summarized it perfectly, partner. You've just got to regroup and start putting another drive together. That's all you can do.
Second and 10. Jackson on the give to Dobbins. Takes it to the 26, just a 1-yard gain. So, Charles, you talk about this head coach, and let's face it, this season certainly has not gone the way many had expected or at least hoped. And I think we saw some of that frustration boil over at his weekly press conference earlier this week.
Yeah, we certainly did, didn't we? Because, let's face it, he's heard the whispers, and they're growing louder that he shouldn't be around next year. He essentially stormed out of that meeting you just referenced with the reporters. How did he end it? We're done here. Well, that's a function of losing and all the pressure that's on him. Hear about pressure creating diamonds? In this case, it's bursting the pipes of the coach.
The Ravens send their punter out now as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. Fielded at about the 28. It'll go as a 42, make it a 43-yard punt, 6 on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, first and 10. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. They'll run it here. This is Marlon Mack. And he'll get this up to about the 40. It's a 6-yard gain on the ground, and that'll make it 2nd and 4. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give him the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Only 3 yards on the catch. It's 3rd down. Got the first down as he's up to the 45-yard line.
When you're dead last in the NFL in 3rd down conversions, the odds are against you every time you face it. How about him picking up that one? That was big for them.
A give to Harris. And he's going to get this all the way down inside the 35.
That outside handoff to the left, that play has to warm the heart of an offensive line coach because they controlled the left side where they were supposed to, but they didn't allow anything to leak from the backside on the right side of the offensive line either. Well played.
Yeah, and it created a big run. Meanwhile, Murray's throw complete there to Johnson. And inside the 20 before he's brought down.
Well, I think when they look at their offense, they think to themselves, weapons, weapons everywhere, and they want to move the ball around. They want to spread it to different people, but you absolutely know they want to get this man involved as well, and that's what they just did on that play.
Now a first down carry for Harris. And he's going to get a solid gain of 9 before being brought down. Second and right at a yard. On a jet sweep, this is Johnson. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Deontay Johnson, his second touchdown on the season. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. Well, early on, they have all facets of the game working in tandem.
Yeah, you give the defensive touchdown early to give you the first score, and then your offense piggybacks on top of that and gets their own. And any coach we've ever talked to, we've had that conversation with them prior to the game, they always say, you know, if we can score on defense or special teams, that gives us like a 95% chance of winning the game. I don't know if that number's correct, but it certainly does tend to play out that way, doesn't it?
It does. 13-0 is the score after 1 on EA Sports. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. Yeah, early on, you know, Charles, every game could be called a measuring stick game. But I think when it comes within your division like this, it's a measuring stick game with a little extra intrigue.
I would agree with that totally, because all division games have a little extra to them. But I like where this game is situated, because at this stage of the season, it has that little extra juice. But at the same time, it's not a make or break if this were, let's say, week 15, 16, somewhere in that neighborhood.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jackson. And this is caught by Watkins. And he'll be upended at the 28-yard line. Just a 3-yard gain there.
Oh, it's time to give a little credit there to the defense. They played that very well, because it was a drag route, and he ran a little shallower than normal as he worked straight across the field. He was hoping he'd get lost behind the defensive line. But once he made the catch, nowhere to turn upfield and gain any yardage.
On 3rd down, Jackson. That ball nearly intercepted, but he could not hang on. Oh, pick there certainly would have been nice. Instead, at least, it'll be 4th down. The Ravens send their punter out now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. .33 yards is the distance on the punt there. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you're
thrown across his body, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Tavon Young. And the Ravens force the turnover. They'll take over at their own 27. So this is something we didn't see at all from this offense in the victory last week. That's a turnover. They didn't have any, but giving the ball away here in the opening quarter.
I love the surprise in your voice, because it's exactly what you stated. Didn't see it last week, but it was a key to their win. And it'll be a key to this game as well, protecting the football. Didn't get it done there.
They'll start on the ground with Dobbins. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. A solid run on 1st down. Gain of 7 leaves him with a 2nd and 3. Here's a give to Dobbins. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, I can certainly tell my age, partner, because when I was a kid, running backs like J.K. Dobbins with over 2,000 yards in their final season in college, they went early in the draft. Instead, he somehow lasted until the second round. But how great is it to get a guy with that ability who can run it inside, run to the perimeter, and catch the football out of the backfield? To be able to get him in the second round, that's what I call a steal.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. 3 yards the gain there, second down. You know, if following up on this head coach and the pressure that he is under, CD, I want to switch it to you because you've been on winning teams, but I know you've been in similar situations too where things just are not going well. How do you approach that as a player?
It's a tough approach, Brandon, because you actually have to do the opposite of what you would think. You know, in your mind, you're thinking, I redouble my efforts, I go harder. In a sense, you have to back off a little bit. You have to do a little bit less. Do what you're supposed to do, but don't take on the pressures of doing more and trying to do your teammates' jobs as well. If you do that, that's really going to lead you to more issues.
Play action. It's Jackson. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
From a defensive perspective, they had exactly what you want anytime they want to throw the football. There was pressure on the quarterback. They were getting after him, and they tightened down on the receivers and forced the incompletion.
This offense converted once on fourth down earlier. Now they're out there again to try once more. They're going for it. It's Kaepernick. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. Boy, it looked like he had it and dropped it. And this Steeler defense able to come up with a stop. And they'll come out with a 3 tight end look on the first play of the drive. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And across midfield he goes into Raven territory. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. Wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
And this time he's able to take it down to the 42. 42 yards rushing for him now, and he's carried the ball just 5 times.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
First down, Murray. Completion here to Claypool. And he gets this down inside the 35 before going out of bounds. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. Here's second and a yard. Now Murray, he bootlegs it. That's swung out wide to Harris. And in for the Steelers, touchdown. Najee Harris, his first touchdown on the year. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. A good hold of these wet conditions. The point after is up and good, and that pushes the lead up to an even 20. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned it to 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down,
caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
One play has them up past the 40 already, and another 1st and 10. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Hale. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now this one to his tight end out on the right side. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or two shy of the 30. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Jackson going to find his running back here. It's Dobbins. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down.
As a defense, you're more balanced when you're in zone coverage because you're able to keep your eyes on the quarterback and see the play develop in front of you. They're able to keep the quick pass in front of them and stop it right at the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, a run with Dobbins. And he's able to get most of what he needed on the carry there. 7 yards on the gain, and it's 3rd and 2 now.
And after that type of a run, there's some talking going on down on the field, but it's not trash talking. The guy who just carried the ball, he's going back and telling his offensive line, great job, keep it up, and we'll break that one soon.
Third and 2, here's Jackson. And in for the Ravens touchdown. Mark Andrews, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Ravens get a late score here in the final minute of the first half. Tucker with the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. From the 6. Oh, a dangerous return man showing it here. And he's able to get it up close to the 35, but hang on here. Penalty marker down. And this one might be going the other way. And the holding penalty sets them back inside the 20 as they get going on this drive. On 1st and 10, here's Murray. They'll run the screen with Mack. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 30.
They ran that one well, and not only did they pick up a nice chunk of yardage on the screen, they sent a message to the defense. Rush the passer all you want, but you better be careful. We can hit you going back the other direction.
Throwing on 1st down is Murray. This to the outside for Mack. And he'll be out of bounds across the 30-yard line. 3 yards the gain there, 2nd down.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Looking for Johnson, and it's intercepted. Picked up by Patrick Queen. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. After the interception, here's Jackson. He'll swing this out to Dobbins. And he is out of bounds inside the 35.
Another catch for him there on this drive, Brandon. And it looks like they're going to utilize him out of the backfield any way they can. And that time they pick up a first down. So now on defense, you assign a man to him and try and cover him before he gets going.
Jackson on first down. He finds his man complete. It's Watkins. Now the Ravens going to use one of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 21 seconds to go here in the first half. 2nd and 11 now. Jackson now. Oh, looking for Andrews downfield. And this one incomplete. Oh, he couldn't hang on to it in the end zone, and that's one that'll haunt you. And now it brings up 3rd down. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And Jackson throwing once more. Being chased out left. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. And nowhere to throw it, decided to scramble, and a nice job, CD. Got the yardage that he needed.
Yeah, and his teammates are certainly going to appreciate that effort, even if his coaches don't, because they would have wanted him to slide and protect himself. But he chose team gain over personal protection.
Throwing on first down, it's Jackson. Touchdown! Devin Duvernay in the final seconds of the first half. And the Ravens are able to cut into this lead in the final seconds of the first half. Tucker now to add the point after. And it's good. The deficit 6, 20-14. Seconds, all that remain here this first half as the kick gets away. From the 6. And it's a pretty good return here as he'll get this up to the 29. So time perhaps for one final kneel down before they take this lead to the locker room. And with time running down, they go down to a knee. So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. Forecast calling for more of the same. The rain set to continue as we are underway in the second half. From the 6. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And, Charles, they've got the lead. I would imagine the overall halftime tone was a positive one, but what do you think the talking points were in the locker room?
Well, if there were 3 talking points at the half, partner, all of them were about turnovers because they were pretty loose with the ball. Otherwise, this lead could be even bigger. Now, I don't think that they overly harped on it, but I think they told them, guys, if you want to keep calling those plays that are exciting, you've got to take care of the ball. Otherwise, we may have to dial things back a little bit.
On second down now, it's Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 55 rushing yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. They'll run on first down with Marlon Mack. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they are playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
2nd down and 4. Now Murray. That finds Smith-Schuster. Nice grab. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Juju Smith-Schuster. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Steelers find a way to stretch their lead. And now the Steeler offense staying out there. And they'll go for 2. It appears they're going to throw for it with Murray. And that is knocked away in the middle of the field and incomplete. Popular down near the goal line. Quick slant. Nice job there to get in, knock it away.
It was. And one of the other things you're concerned about when you throw that route is to make sure your offensive linemen use their leverage to get the hands of the defensive front down so you can throw it through that little bit of crowd and get it to the receiver. In this event, they did, but a nice play by the defender knocking it away.
The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that'll lead you into bigger errors.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down? Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
Jackson looking to throw on 3rd. Looking left side, Andrews with it complete. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
We often hear the phrase sure-handed tight ends, and he certainly fits into that category. Plus, he's got a quarterback who knows to look his way when they need a big pickup. And on this play, he finds him for the first down.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on 1st down. Decided to hand it off that time on the run-pass option.
Appeared to be an easy decision. Just gave it inside. Nice steady gain.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. Now it's Jackson. Throw left side complete. That's Andrews. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40.
That's a nice catch there. Remember, he had the fumble earlier. No way he was giving up the ball in that situation. Secured it tight to his body and picks up the first down.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 41. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And he'll work this forward for about 3 at 2nd down.
Yeah, I don't know if it's exactly a win-win, but if you're on offense, you'll take that kind of a run, all right? It was kind of stacked up, found a little bit of yardage, and frankly, they're pretty close to staying on schedule on offense. The playbook is still open for the coordinator.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And he'll take this one down to the 36. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down. From the gun, Jackson. A swing pass here to Edwards. And they're going to have themselves another first down as the tackle's made at the Steelers' 26.
Well, they've certainly done a nice job spreading the ball around on this drive. This time he gets it out to his back, and it's another nice play and another first down. They've got the defense on their heels a little bit. They're reacting instead of being aggressive and making plays.
Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Chalk that up as their first sack in this game, and they tallied 4 a week ago.
And probably not as much exultation in that sack as what took us so long. Because when you get 4 of the previous...
into a sea of defenders and intercepted. Picked up by Minka Fitzpatrick. And the Steelers force the turnover and take over at their own 27. They set themselves behind the chains, tried to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out. And now we get into the psychology of the whole thing, because a lot of teams with a 2-score lead in the third quarter, they almost become defensive with their offense, just playing not to lose. I think with this team, you got to figure at this point, this is a great spot for them to go into attack mode, really try and put the hammer down and finish this one off.
Although his reputation as a speedy runner precedes him, it's always fun to watch him work.
It is eye-opening, isn't it? Because when you see him get the ball and just go, in addition to that speed, it helps out his blockers. They don't have to hold blocks for long because he's just going to speed right past them.
A good move on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Defensively, a solid response after giving up back-to-back first downs. 2nd and 9. Throwing now is Murray. He completes this one to Mack. And he's going to be taken down with the first down at the Ravens' 22-yard line. We have played 3 quarters. This is the National Football League on EA Sports. Murray now on first down. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
That's an excellent play by the defender. He diagnosed that one, closed quickly, and helped force the incompletion.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the gun, here's a give to Mack. And he's got 4 down inside the 20 to the 18.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
And the Steelers are going to have 1st and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
And that pickup of a first down, that's going to leave a mark because they really needed to stop them there, didn't they?
That's so frustrating. Defensively, you're a play away from getting that football back here down late. And he's in. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. Najee Harris with 2 touchdowns on the season, both in this game. And the Steelers are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this 4th quarter lead. Extra point, a bit of an adventure, but it does make it through. And that will make this a 19-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Smith to return it. And they'll be set up pretty nicely here as they have it up to the 35-yard line. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part 2, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done. So
the big play changes the complexion of things. Here's 1st and 10 just outside the 30. Now a throw here to his running back. A pickup of about 3 yards as he's taken down at the 31. You got the big lead defensively, willing to give them that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
To throw again on second down. Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on third down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
The Ravens on third down, 5 out of 9 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. And there's a quick throw caught by Andrews. And he will have a Ravens first down as they're able to get the third down conversion.
Well, I can put my defensive cap on right now, and I know they're saying don't give up any big plays now. They've controlled this game throughout, and all they want to do is see it through to the end. I think they let their guard down a little bit with that last completion. Sometimes when you're trying not to give up bigger plays.
And in for the Ravens touchdown. Sammy Watkins, his first touchdown on the year. And the Ravens have got it back to a 2-score game here in the 4th. Tucker able to connect on the extra point, and they're able to cut this deficit down to 12. Tucker now to kick it away following the touchdown. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Well, there are 2 scores on the plus side. Still time here in this 4th quarter, but maybe you start thinking about playing keep away?
Yeah, I think here's the situation. You're not thinking touchdowns anymore. You're just thinking first downs. To keep up with your theme there, playing keep away, first downs, they can't touch the ball.
8 yards the gain on that last run. Here's 2nd and a couple. It's a jet sweep. Here comes Claypool with it. Well, we've seen running backs in today's NFL get involved in the passing game. Maybe it's about time more receivers like that get involved in the running game.
And that is something we are seeing more and more in this league, no question about it. That wasn't the biggest of gains, but it was enough to get them a first down. And it continues to test the defense. They have to think on every play about who might end up with the ball.
And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40.
Partner, I like that they're staying aggressive on offense, because to me, this drive is what is known as a put-away drive. You score here, that might put this one to bed. I like the fact that they're playing with confidence and not playing with fear.
He'll be stopped at the 35, but not before he picks up 7 yards.
I have to chuckle to myself a little bit, Brandon, because right now I could be in that huddle with that offensive line. I know exactly what they're saying. If you call a pass play here, we're going to call a timeout. Run the football. We've got control of this thing. Get him behind us and let's go.
Their time to shine. 79 yards rushing for him now as he's run it 11 times. I'll tell you, far from ideal conditions to play in, but neither offense has had much trouble. Plenty of points to go around. 1st and 10. On first down, Harris. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Najee Harris, 28 yards. And the Steelers have pretty well put it away here in the 4th quarter. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that will make this a 19-point game. Boswell now to kick it away after the touchdown. Here's Smith to return it. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. The Baltimore offense at the line, set to get going. And that last drive, a long drive, but not just that. They had a great air attack going. Do they stick with that?
I would think that they would, because if they were confident enough to do it on the last drive, starting backed up in their own territory, why would you change anything? They've got to be confident about what they're presenting and continue to do so.
Yeah, because the secondary, they really look clueless.
And that was amazing because that drive went and went, no adjustments, and no big plays by the defense to knock the ball away.
3 yards the gain there, second down.
All defenses worry that whenever anyone catches the ball and has a head of steam come out of the backfield, it can turn into a big play with missed tackles or he runs through people. But they were right there waiting, and they stopped him for a minimal gain.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. What we just saw there, that's really been a common theme all afternoon.
A lot of pressure. That forced the errant pass. He's been under duress this entire afternoon. He just had to unload that one. He's fortunate it was just incomplete and not intercepted.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
And with that kind of a deficit, you can't afford to make any kind of mistakes. But it's been pretty symptomatic of what we've seen all game with them, isn't it? Down this big in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, you'd say an afternoon to forget, absolutely. They're going to get about 3 here out of this first down run, and that'll bring up 2nd and 7.
Well, that's just a pile of bodies there, and that's when you kind of find out who's a tough guy, right? Who can stand up and make a play. It was only a 3-yard run, but for both sides, they had to walk away from that feeling like, okay, I can stand up when the going gets tough in here.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. They run again with Harris. And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. No gain on the play, and it's going to bring up a 3rd down. They run the counter. It's Harris, and he's not going to sniff the first down here. He stopped at the 25.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.